This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by
Vacuums and shredders. The handiest of all inventions.
It's Friday, April 21st, 2023. I'm Aaron, and this is my co-host, Chris.
Hello!
Hey, Chris. Well, we'd like to welcome you back to a Friday edition of Another Great Day, the podcast designed to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. Well, we were just talking about Pop Tarts, so before we get into our Friday section, I want to just say, if you guys have a favorite Pop Tart, and I'm going to probably post this on Instagram, let us know what it is. Chris, do you have a favorite flavor of Pop Tarts before we get into the show?
I have a story about Pop Tarts we can do at the end. I'll make people wait till the end.
Yay! Okay, cool. Well, choose your own adventure. Skip all the way to the end or listen through to the whole show. Either way, beloved Another Great Day listeners, it's Friday and we are celebrating a wonderful week behind us. On this Follower Response Friday, we're going to highlight a few of the great responses we've had to our questions from the Instagram page. So we've talked about this for a couple weeks. We've had a lot of interactivity on our pages, and it's time to mention a few of the answers here. So we're going to keep it anonymous for now, but we might eventually start sharing who said what.
We could tell the people, please tell us if you want to be known. Say,
That's
yes,
a great point.
You can say my name.
Yep, you could say my name, just like Destiny's Child. And if you put it in the comments, everybody's going to see it anyways. So here we go. Little bit of feedback this week. Chris, you want to read the question and I will read the responses?
Sure.
Okay.
What is the best movie?
We got Sound of Music, Good Will Hunting, and The Dark Knight. Ooh, great movies.
What is the best instrument?
A magenta bass guitar, which is a genius answer because I own a magenta bass guitar.
Oh, so someone knows you.
I feel very loved. Yes. We also got piano, which was my answer, and some weirdo put an accordion Weird Al.
I think that was me.
It was you. Yeah, I wouldn't call anybody else a weirdo. Sorry.
It was me all along. All right, what was the best book?
We got Ender's Game and The Lord of the Rings. We also got a few more, but we're going to try to keep it quick here.
What's the best bug?
Praying mantis and butterfly.
Butterfly. What is the best sport?
This one actually came to us from a doctor, and it said football. We also got basketball and lacrosse.
Sport.
Those are some... What?
Sport.
Your favorite.
I don't dislike sport.
Sport. Like deer?
I don't dislike deer.
Or fish.
Or fish.
Sport. One word to describe them all. Well, that's some really great stuff from our listeners, Chris. I'm encouraged, and I hope everybody's having fun with this. I think we have the finest audience out there, a very refined crowd full of well-traveled humans. Well, listen, folks, if you have some responses you'd like us to read on a Friday, please make sure you follow us on Instagram at Another Great Day Podcast and respond to our questions when you can. The sillier they are, the more likely they'll make it on the show.
And that will bring us to this day in history.
All right, today's This Day in History had so many cool things. So unbeknownst to you, dear listeners, when we do the writing for this show, there's actually a ton of bummer news that's usually popping up on This Day in History. And we try to find the fun, unique, or interesting things and trying to stray away from the bad news. But today, there were a lot of really cool things. So I'm going to do a quick hits version. Here we go. On this day in 753 BC, Rome is founded. On this day in 1934, the surgeon's photo allegedly showing the Loch Ness Monster is published in the Daily Mail. Side note, I love the Loch Ness Monster. I know it's not real, but I think it's one of the coolest things ever. In 1918, the Red Baron is killed. Yes, Manfred von Richthofen was a legendary German fighter pilot. He earned his renown and nickname by achieving 80 air combat victories in World War I. He lived to be 25 years old. And last but not least, the year was 1836. And after suffering defeat at the Alamo, the Texas militia, led by Sam Houston, routs General Santa Anna's Mexican army in the Battle of San Jacinto, a key event in the great state of Texas being established.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of history, and that will do it.
This next segment is called the Question of the Day. And if you're new to this, we'll ask a question and encourage you to take a minute to answer the question with those around you. We'll give you about 10 seconds to answer, and if you need more time, feel free to pause the show and come right back. And the question is, what's the prettiest flower? All right, Chris, here we are on a Friday pondering the great questions of life. We find ourselves, as we look in the mirror, as we look to the sky, as we consider life. What is the prettiest flower?
I don't know many flower names. This is difficult for me.
I can answer.
Go for it.
All right. I think the hibiscus. I think the hibiscus is a really beautiful flower with its large folding petals, with its sepals sticking straight out at you. Hummingbirds love it. They really do. And they're incredibly fragrant and beautiful. So I'm going to go with the hibiscus.
Also use it for tea, don't they?
Yeah, there's hibiscus tea. That's a good point.
I've heard about that.
Mm-hmm. Bees and hummingbirds love them.
My daughter asked me this question just the other day.
No way.
She asked me what's my favorite flower. But this is what's the prettiest flower. But I think one that I can always rely on is the magnolia blossom on the tree.
Yes,
it's just so big.
White blossoms.
Yeah, they're just so cool. And they usually cover a whole tree, and so that's what I say.
That's a great response, Chris. Well, good talk today, and we'd love to know what your prettiest flower is. Be looking out for that on our Instagram page. Let's take a quick break and check in with our dad joke correspondent on location. Hey, Wes, give us a joke.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Chris. I'm here with Beckham. Hey, Beckham. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cow says.
Cow says who?
No, it doesn't. A cow says moo. Have another great day.
I'd say that joke was quite moving, wouldn't you?
We'll be right back. Welcome back to another great day. I'm Aaron, and that's Chris, and we're so glad you're here. This part of our show is called the Word of Wisdom. This is where we'll take a minute to go through a proverb or wise saying and give you our take. Here we go.
Today's word of wisdom comes to us from Proverbs 21:25, chapter 21, verse 25.
The NLT version says, despite their desires, the lazy will come to ruin, for their hands refuse to work.
The desire of the lazy kills him, for his hands refuse to labor.
Wow.
Please take a moment and discuss this.
Well, that'll wrap things up for the week. Let's hit the music and call it a day. I'd like to give a big shout out to my co-host Chris for all the hard work in audio production and excellent co-hosting he does. What a guy. Last but not least, I want to thank all of you for listening and sharing this show with your friends, neighbors, and the occasional sous chef. Our mission is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
Well, whatever you do, we thank you for listening, and we hope you make it another
great
day. We'll see you next week.
And Pop Tarts.
Ooh, okay. All right. Top favorite flavor of Pop Tarts.
All right, so growing up in high school, I had Pop Tarts. I loved them.
Me too.
We started off.
Were you ever eating a Pop Tart looking up at the moon, knowing that I was eating a Pop Tart looking up at that exact same moon?
No. That would have been great. I mean, you could have looked up at the moon and thought that you were looking at the moon. I didn't know you existed. So I had Pop Tarts. We started off with the strawberry. So the red filling, white with little rainbow colored sprinkles all over it.
Yes.
I think that's like number one on anybody's Pop Tarts experiences.
But that's phase 2 Pop Tart, Chris. Phase 1 Pop-Tart did not have icing on the outside.
It
was a plain pastry with strawberry or blueberry filling within it. It was, you know how like in Pokemon,
there were
it's
Pop-Tarts before this?
Yeah, it's like Bulbasaur, and then it's Ivysaur, and then whatever the last one is, the big one. Okay, basically whatever. Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. Those 3 evolutions.
Yes.
Pop-Tarts did the same thing. The Charmander intro level of Pop-Tarts was a plain pastry with no icing on it. Just a filling.
I feel like I may have had one of those once.
They are,
but it made no sense.
Not great. They figured it out though. They leveled up to the Charmeleon level.
Okay,
started
so
putting icing on it.
I didn't know those existed, or remember, or care, I guess, at the time to remember. Yeah. So my first experience was those with the white and the rainbow on them. But at some point, we got the I don't know what flavor it was. It had a brown sugar.
You talking about like the s'mores version?
No,
or was it
not
like the
s'mores.
apple cinnamon?
I don't think it was that. I think it was just brown sugar.
Yeah, there's like a brown sugar with marshmallow or something one.
Not marshmallow.
Okay. Man.
For sure wasn't that.
I know what you're talking about.
I think it was just brown sugar. It was brown on top only. But it was like anyway.
So good.
We had, my mom loves the color cobalt blue.
Oh, that's a great color.
She loves it. So many things she owns are glass cobalt blue.
Shout out Miss Tater Tot and
your
cobalt blue collection of glass things.
And she purchased at some point that time 2 sets of glasses that were like the short style, I guess, the tumbler, and then the tall. I don't know why those even exist for people. They exist for teenagers. Yeah. Because I always wanted a big cup. I didn't want a small cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get the big cup, the big glass, and it was maybe octagonal. I don't know. It had sides and little corners.
Yeah.
And the Pop-Tart barely didn't fit to dip in my full glass of milk.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So did you like chew down the sides like a beaver so it would fit?
I sometimes would chew down the sides. Other times I would carefully like tap the middle vertically to make a crack and then break it.
Oh my!
It was a science and an art.
With all that warm goo in the middle.
Well, This is where I break from you.
What?
I never heated them up.
Okay.
I couldn't
be
bothered.
This show is over. I quit.
It was too much time to put in a toaster.
What kind of, this is a Jim Gaffigan or Brian Regan skit about who doesn't have time to use a toaster. They have microwave instructions. You don't even have.
It's already made for me. I don't need to heat it up.
And they came in 2-packs,
They
so
did.
If you were in a hurry, the bus is here, we got to go, or we got to go, Jet, get in the car. Grab a pack, man. You got 2 Pop-Tarts. 2 Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
When you're a growing youth, 2 Pop-Tarts is great.
Yes. So that's my memory of Pop-Tarts is the brown sugar and the cobalt glass full of milk, breaking it in half, dipping it and letting it sit just long enough right before it kind of starts to fall apart on its own and then eating it.
The modern day Pop-Tart for an old guy is the egg bites. Popping some egg bites. Go. I'll eat them cold or I'll eat them warm. Little egg bites with bacon. Yum.
You should send those to my house.
I'm going to send them to my mouth right now. It's Friday, April 21st, 2023. I'm Aaron, and this is my great jam, jelly, and marmalade-filled friend, Chris.
That is more accurate than you can know.
I had 20 Pop-Tarts before I came on the show. Just kidding. I would love to have, we need to have Pop-Tart talk at the end of the show. Stay tuned at the end.
I need a Pop-Tart right now. I'm going to go and I'm going to see you later.
Bye. Well, this is another great day. The show not only sponsored by Pop-Tarts, not really, but a show that is We'd like to welcome you back to this is the worst. I've ruined this. I've lost my train of thought. All I can think about is Pop Tarts right now. Can we start over?
You got yield Pop Tart brain, we call it in the business.
My brain's full of blueberry filling. All right, I'm Aaron, and this is Chris, my Pop Tart-tastic co-host.
To get the Pop Tarts out of your brain, what percentage of that filling you think is actually fruit?
Like 1% tops. It's all sugar.
It's just sugar
it's
and
corn syrup
and gelatin.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. Okay, moving on.
The end.